Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Jag from Jaggy Sports. Breaking news: Myles Turner is the front runner to go to Dallas. If Dallas lands him, wow, that is insane. If Dallas lands them, insane. I'm telling you. Like Dallas is, I think they're number fifth, right behind Utah or something like that. If they land Myles Turner, and he is a defensive prowl, if they land Myles Turner, that is unreal. Like I'm telling you, they already got KP, they already got Luca. All they need is another center or a center who can do what he does. That'll be insane. Um, Kevin Durant is out with an injury 4 to 8 weeks, or 6 to 8 weeks, or 4 to 6 weeks. Who knows? He had the same injury a while ago, exact same injury that happened to Embiid, but Embiid had a hyperextended knee. This is a sprained MCL. So I think the Nets are going to take it easy with Kevin Durant. And the next, I think it's quite a few games is on the road. So Kyrie has to pick up the slack. And obviously James Harden. A lot of people are wondering, oh, what's their title chances right now? It's the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like, they're favorites. Like it's not even All-Star break, and he gets injured now. So he'll be ready for the playoffs, 100%. You know, he'll be ready for the playoffs. But I'll tell you one thing: who might not be ready for the playoffs are my team, the Lakers, and they got blown up by Dallas or by Denver. And let's take a look at this clip on what Magic had to say.
You want to move on to the biggest story from the weekend, and it involves Kevin Durant. So remember, KD was injured on Saturday against the Pelicans, and sources told our Adrian Wojnarowski that the injury was a sprained MCL in his left knee, and he will be out for 4 to 6 weeks. And the New York Daily News, they are never shy. They reacted to the injury by calling the Nets, quote, 1.5 men. That refers to Kyrie Irving's ability for road games only. So here's Steve Nash, the coach of the Nets, pregame today, talking about KD. Take a listen.
We just have to do the best we can. We can't cry about it. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We got to keep building, see what we can learn and how we can grow during this period of Kevin being out, and how we can continue to move this thing forward. So when they do come back, we're in a better place and further along, and he can rejoin us in a place where we can feel better about where we are in that part of the season.
So for more on this, we're now joined by senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. So Woj, what else can you tell us about the timeline here for KD's injury?
Well, look, I think the way this timeline falls, 4 to 6 weeks, is what the Nets expect. Comes right in the middle of the All-Star break. So the idea that they would bring him back prior to the All-Star break, I think you can probably forget him for Cleveland, the All-Star game. But they come out on the 24th. That's when they would play their first game coming out of the break. And at that point, you're around that 5-week mark. And so I think that's, for now, a good early benchmark around the Nets for a return. But you'll see how it heals. And listen, there was a lot of despite the fact that you're losing him for a month plus, there was a sigh of relief around the Nets on Sunday morning when the MRI showed that, Kevin Durant will play again this season and should be back healthy, fully recovered, certainly in plenty of time for the postseason.
An MCL sprain, similar, right, to what we see Anthony Davis going through right now. 11 of the Nets' next 14 games are on the road, so that means a little bit more Kyrie Irving we're going to be able to see. But, Richard, KD, he's been a part of the MVP conversation this season, and he's been absolutely brilliant for Brooklyn. So what will be the keys for the Nets to stay afloat now that he's out for those 4 to 6 weeks, as Woj is reporting?
Well, obviously the key to me, the 11 out of 14 with Kyrie, that's huge, because now you get like a whole lot of Kyrie. It's not a game in, a game out, 2 games in, 2 games out. You actually can build a little rhythm. But this falls straight on James Harden. James Harden has been, one of the top players in this league, and including last year before he popped his hamstring, he was in the MVP conversation. And this year he's been off to a slow start, adjusting to the new rules, not quite having his rhythm of the James Harden that we're familiar with. But now this is your time. This is back to being your show. You're going to have some help on the road with Kyrie there, but James Harden has to get back to that space of being one of the top 5 players in this league.
Well, and he is top 5 in minutes, so was Kevin Durant. So we're going to see how that adjustment is made too, Mark.
Yeah, and the Nets have this really small lineup or this small backcourt with, Patty Mills joining Kyrie. But the guy I'm keeping an eye on is the former LSU star Cam Thomas. In 3 of the last 4 games, he scored over 20 points. He's averaged 13.9 points this month. They need him to give some scoring off the bench, especially if Patty's not going to be there.
He hit that game winner the other day. He was looking pretty good for them. And then Steve Nash today, we heard a little bit of sound from him on Kevin Durant, but he also mentioned that Joe Harris, who has missed a significant amount of time after undergoing surgery, is on this current trip with them. He's not expected to play, but he's slowly getting himself back on the court. So if the Nets can get a little bit healthier here, then maybe they can get into a little bit of a rhythm that Kevin Durant can then slide back into, Woj.
Yeah, and they're hoping certainly to get Joe Harris back. They've taken their time with his rehab. Last season, without KD, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Nets won 16 of 19 games.
So they're hoping if they can replicate that this season, then they should be just fine.
Quick takes, hoops. Let's get it, Stephen A. After the Lakers got rocked by the Nuggets Saturday for their 3rd straight loss, Magic Johnson tweeting this. After being blown out by the Nuggets, 133-96, we as Lakers fans can accept being outplayed, but we deserve more than a lack of effort and no sense of urgency. Owner Jeannie Buss, you deserve better. Russell Westbrook was asked about these comments from the Hall of Famer.
I do not have a reaction. Everybody is entitled in this world to their opinion. Regardless of what that is, you can either take it and run with it, or you can take it and put it in one ear, not the other, or you cannot respond to it. But Magic's entitled to his opinion, and he's not here every day. He's not around us every day. He's not aware of kind of what's going on internally with us and trying to figure things out. But I have no response to that. But like I said, everybody in this world is entitled to their opinion, and that's that.
Stephen A., what do you make of your boy, the Magic Man, calling out the Lakers?
Well, I think he's absolutely right. And I think that Russell Westbrook was very, very wise in his response, because the last person in the world who wants to challenge Irvin Magic Johnson is a point guard, any point guard that's playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. You don't want to challenge Irvin Magic Johnson. You want to be quiet and just defer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, here's the reality. Lakers gonna have to make a change. Now, whether it's a trade or whatever, or the changing of the coach, where I hold Frank Vogel accountable, and I'm not calling for him to be fired, please don't get me wrong, because I'm very fond of Frank Vogel. But where I am holding him accountable is you're the 27th ranked defense, giving up 113 points a game. You have a head coaching job because your defensive prowess as a head coach. The fact that this team is so abysmal defensively and there's such flagrant levels of lacking energy, such lethargy, is an embarrassment. That is intolerable. And let me tell you, and I think I've proven this on many occasions, that I know Magic Johnson. I don't know why people, I don't have to talk. I've known the man for a quarter century.
Yeah.
Personally, that's my brother.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what I know. Magic didn't just say that for no reason. You notice how he added Jeannie Buss?
Yeah.
You deserve better. Mm-hmm. That's code to Jeannie Buss. You deserve better, and you're not getting better. So you need to make a move so you will get better. That is why Magic Johnson, that is code for Magic Johnson telling Jeannie Buss, make a change.
We got to leave it there.
Change is coming.
Lakers play the Jazz tonight. Obviously, more playoffs to get to.
They should win that because of back-to-back to Utah, but Utah might still smoke them.
We'll have much more in the NBA now that you're back, of course.
So I agree with Stephen A. Smith. It was very wise for the Lakers, or for Russell Westbrook, to say that. Obviously, you cannot argue with a point guard for the Lakers who did so much for the Lakers. And he's right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was lack of effort, even though LeBron James apologized, but that doesn't mean anything. What's going to happen is, I agree with him. There's got to be a change. And there needs to be a change fast. Buddy mine said basically, because LeBron James apologized, he thinks something's coming down the pipe, like in a trade-wise. Maybe so. I don't know 100% if that's true, but like I said, something needs to change because, you know, there were a defensive prowl 2 years ago, but that was 2 years ago, and they screwed up by trading for Russell Westbrook. Nobody's gonna want Russell Westbrook's contract right now, so like the chances of him moving are very slim. The chances of THT moving, well, guess what? It's January 17th right now, and now he's officially can get traded because the earliest opt-in was about the early opt-in was January 15th, so he can officially get traded right now, and they might package him with Kendrick Nunn and sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. Kendrick Nunn and THT, and another pick to get somebody special because this is just not working. And at this point they're 21 and 22. Can they even make the playoffs? We don't know because Anthony Davis is still injured. He was shooting around with a knee brace on, so like I said, I still don't know. But I agree with Magic. I agree with Stephen A. Something needs to be done. So leave a comment and tell me what you think the Lakers should do. You know what I mean? Like, I want to hear from your guys' opinion on what trades they should do and what trades they shouldn't do. Give me a comment. I love to hear you guys' opinion, and subscribe. Jag from Jaggy Sports.